Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
That, Deanna. You know what happened? Has this ever happened with you on the show?
No. It's usually Karen.
This hasn't happened in like 4 months. And a while ago, I tripped over all of this.
You did.
And it disconnected our sound.
Oh, Stephanie's been trying to tell me there is no sound.
Man. Wow, we just had a really good intro. But you know what it did?
Again.
It got like over 20 people on the stream.
Well, there you go.
So
there you go.
Now folks are calling us, letting us know. Kyle, the sound is working now, by the way. So we appreciate everybody. Thanks for that. Yeah, we accidentally I tripped over the equipment earlier, and it unplugged some stuff. Yeah. And it was my fault because I always have this wire right here. Welcome in. I'll make it really quick because we got to welcome in. We're here, episode 141. Good morning, Huntsville. Jason Thompson not here of Guardian Defense. We want you to continue to keep him in your prayers as he is recovering at home. They're normally our sponsor, but today Deanna Irwin of Advantage Specialties joining us, and so we appreciate Deanna being here with us this morning. As always, too, our show brought to you by Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers. And there is we were having fun, too. We were like, hey, maybe there's a diamond ring in here.
No ring.
And there wasn't. Deanna was joking around saying something fell out of my head. And there's a couple of screws in here, so that's what that was.
We've always known you've had a couple loose, so
at least only two, thankfully.
Right.
So, anyways, we had such a great intro. We were doing this on purpose. That was the hidden Easter egg of the show today. The first person to respond saying that there was no sound was going to win. Nothing. And congratulations, Samantha Havard.
Great job, Samantha.
You know, Samantha, at one point we were giving away $100,000, and she didn't answer, so she didn't win then.
Oh.
And then on the day where we were giving away nothing,
she wins.
And so sorry about that,
She's
Samantha.
She's still a winner, though.
Yeah.
No matter what, you're a winner.
It's just no physical gratification.
Right.
There's nothing there that we're going to give you physically to
bragging rights.
Yeah, just bragging rights. Mm-hmm. So Deanna Irwin is sitting in with us today. We have a great show lined up. Our good friend Terri Coleman joining us, one of our real estate experts here on Hello Huntsville. She is your next door agent. She'll be giving us some market updates and
kind of feel like deja vu here.
It does. It's kind of hard to do this too whenever you have such a fun intro.
Right.
And then it messes up.
But you know what we didn't say? Today's Halloween.
I was going to let you say it because you have a special Advantage Specialties
I do.
Halloween shirt on.
We like to have fun and make fun little shirts, so we made these for all the staff, and we're going to have a Halloween little get-together later, so you got lucky today, and you got my Halloween shirt.
Well, I love it.
So.
Well, we appreciate Deanna being here. I was saying earlier, too, Deanna's, obviously, it's not Jason, and so a lot more beautiful than you, Jason, but we love you.
Yeah.
So it's good to have Deanna with us today. Waking up this morning, there was a lot of things on my mind, and I was at a staff meeting yesterday, and I wanted to bring this up real quick. We always try to have a little inspiration on the show before we have Terri here in just a second, and we always have a little bit of inspiration on the show. I was in a staff meeting yesterday at First Baptist, and Pastor Bay had brought up a really great point, and I kind of look at it like this, and it was talking about our current culture, and especially with young people, and nothing bad, nothing negative at all. It was just like, it seems like in this world we so much condemn others, and it's almost like we're at war with each other. And so this morning I was thinking about that on the way in this morning. As a parent now, how am I going to raise my children, and many other parents out there, and folks that aren't even parents, just what is your kind of atmosphere like each day, and how are you treating others? We can take it to that level. And I started thinking about, in life, should we really be at war with each other and have these little petty things that, you and I were joking around. There was an event, and I won't say the details, but there was an event that went on this past weekend, and unfortunately it was like wildfire on social media. And I was like, good night. It was like the pitchforks came out before Halloween.
I know.
But I was thinking about this morning, I want to encourage you this morning to not be at war with each other. Put aside the petty differences. If there's something that, I'm not saying that you got to ignore situations. I mean, there's some things that folks are going through that are really difficult, and things that you have to legally go through a process to resolve sometimes. But what I am saying this morning is, I want you to understand that we're not here on this earth to be in a war with each other. And to brag about being victorious over beating somebody at something. I'm not talking about sports or any of that. Obviously, with the Astros getting knocked out, I don't even want to go down that trail. But Texas is doing all right, so now I'm going to be a Rangers fan through the World Series. But what I'm getting at is we should be at war with the enemy. And I'm not going to go on a long sermon and preach here this morning, but I will tell you that that's who we should be at war with. We should be at war with the enemy, and I'm talking about Satan. And we should stand firm on the foundation and know that we have victory over him. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring up this morning, because I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, man, me and this person have been fighting, and we just can't seem to get over our differences. And I said, but the war's not really between y'all. And there are things that you got to work through, but I said you got to find love. When I look at Scripture, Jesus came with a message of love and compassion. And yeah, there was things that happened. I mean, he got angry in the temple and flipped over stuff and threw stuff, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about we should have a heart of compassion for each other this morning. And so maybe that's where you're at this morning. You're waking up today saying, I've just been so bitter, or maybe someone's been bitter towards you. Just ignore all that. Just like Sweet Brown said back in the day on a video, ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Did you ever see that video? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for no bronchitis.
So maybe you got bronchitis. You ain't got time for that this morning.
No.
And like last night, I went to sleep, and I was telling you, Deanna, that I've just been under the weather for, honestly, out of the last 6 weeks, probably 3 of the weeks I've been sick. And I'm not sick right now, and I'm not going to be sick again. I've already said, Jesus, I'm not getting sick anymore. Devil ain't allowed into my body, so just keep him out. And just when you get sick with one thing, sometimes your immune system gets knocked down. And I'm doing a lot better now over the last couple of weeks or week and a half or so. But it was just like, you get in these seasons to where you're just down and beat up and defeated. And last night I was thinking about that, and I just started telling myself, like, you know what, I'm going to feel good today. And I'm still like aching a little bit. I think we all have pops and aches, and things happen as we get a little bit older. But I just said, forget all that, man. Today I'm going to just say over my life, I'm going to feel good today no matter what. And I'm feeling all right.
All right.
Yeah. And I think it's because you and Terri are here is what
Probably.
It really was,
Probably, yeah.
So I was, as soon as y'all walked in, I saw Deanna pull up first. I was like, oh, it's going to be a great day. And then I saw Terri Coleman. I said, man, it's just going to be a fabulous day. So here we go.
Just get better and better.
That's right. So, well, real briefly, I know Terry's patiently waiting. We do have a little something for you this morning that Terri always brings, and so we're looking forward to that. But Deanna, what have you been up to? I mean, there's been a lot of great things happening, and I saw where your crew with the Peyton Irwin Foundation has been involved in some wonderful events outside of the actual run, just giving back to the community like you always do. Can you give us some updates?
I can. So we always love to give back because helping each other, as you said, loving each other, helping each other just make the world a better place to be in. And so we decided to do Scare on the Square this year. And we had a booth down there and had some games for the kids to play. I don't think I've seen so many kids in one location in a long time. It was a lot of kids. But there were some really unique costumes. Oh, my gosh. We had Bonnie Wubble.
That's classic. I
We
love
had literally the car driving. It was amazing, like right out of Bedrock. But anyway, great costumes, great kids, great manners. We had a toilet bowl toss. Some of them were not sure if they were really allowed to put the toilet paper in the toilet because they get in trouble for that at home. But anyway, we did that.
That's how you know you grew up on a septic tank, by the way.
Right? Yeah. So we participated in that, and then every year, Scary on the Prairie takes place out in Crab Prairie. Boy, Scary on the Prairie, Crab Prairie. Yeah. Anyway, the volunteer fire department out there for the last few years, probably last several years, they've been putting on a fall festival, Halloween little thing, and they usually have a haunted house, a little hayride, and a few years ago, some friends of ours started bringing games out and setting up carnival games, and so we helped them with that, just as people with their son was actually a volunteer firefighter at that time, and so we just wanted to help them out, and then a couple of years, the sorority took that little part over and helped them. And so this year I was thinking, you know what, Crab Prairie has given to us every year. We've had the run. They've come to be our first aid station, and they're just great people. So we decided that's something we want to do to help them give back. So we went out and set up, I think we had 15 different carnival games, and we gave out prizes and then candy, and the little kids out there, well, and the big kids too, had a great time. So it was great to give back, and the new facility out there is wonderful. We were all covered and closed in. We didn't have to worry about the cold weather, and so we had a good time. Glad to give back to them. They're a great group out there. So
Yeah, and saw a lot of folks from the Peyton Irwin organization there. I mean, there was
Yes.
at least 10 or more, right? I saw the
I think
picture
we
of all of
had-
y'all together.
We had 15 or 16 of us out there. We had a couple of sorority girls that needed some volunteer hours, so they came out and helped us. And we even dragged some of our husbands out there. So it was a great event. They had a good time. You know, usually the guys are like, I guess I'll go. And then they get out there, I had a good time. It was fun seeing all the kids. So
It's always-
I'm glad they let us help out.
Yeah, it's great. And it's so good that you guys, I mean, and Deanna, y'all have given so much too, though, to this community and awareness and through the organization. You don't know how much that Huntsville loves you, and we appreciate you. And, you know, you think of folks that have a heart of gold and just giving back. And Deanna, that's you. And it's so awesome to see your organization, you know, giving back in other ways, which you'll always have, you know, through educating folks and awareness of the dangers of texting and driving, but going out and helping these other organizations. Crabs Prairie has a special place in my heart because Frank Oliveris lives out near that area. And on Facebook several years ago, he posted a picture of all these little puppies and some... I'll just say it. Look, I know that I talked about a message of love a while ago, but you can still say the word jerk and still say you love somebody. Jesus loved everybody, even this person, and that's the grace that we have to have this morning. But some jerk literally drove by in a Suburban and tossed out like 5 or 6 puppies out of the window. And Frank's neighbors had found them, saw it happen, grabbed them, didn't get the license plate or any of that, and this was years ago because it just happened so quick. And so Frank's neighbor got the puppies. They couldn't really do anything with them, so Frank kept them, put them on social media and said, hey, we've got these 5 or 6 puppies that were tossed out. And that's where I got my little Stella from.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So when I think of Crabs Prairie, I think of Stella. And the reason I picked her is all the other ones were just, you know, all clumped up together. And then she was the little one that was gray, that was kind of skittish by herself. And I said, you know, I'm not being like negative, but I was like the skittish guy in high school. So
gotcha.
I think about like I thought of this whenever I picked her. Seriously, I was like, this reminds me when I was in high school. Everybody eating in the cafeteria. I'd go eat.
And I'm over there by myself.
Yeah, no joke. So Mary McKenna, if you're watching this morning, my high school nurse, I would go eat with her every day. there with the nurse. I'd hang out with the nurse, with Miss McKenna, and I learned a lot from her over the years.
I bet you did.
And I also learned that you need sugar sometimes. And so, yeah, I'm not poking fun at this because I know it's a serious situation with a lot of, it's hypoglycemia.
Hypoglycemia,
I think that's the one if you're too low, and it's hyper if you have too much sugar, one of those. But I always tell the teacher, I think my sugar's low, and so I'd go to the nurse, and I'd always drink grape juice with Miss McKenna. So spent a lot of time in that nurse's office growing up. And,
I guess that's better than the principal's office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a principal, and man, this is, and I know Terry's patiently waiting. I promise we're going to get Terry on. We go down these rabbit holes sometime. We're making up for the lost 7 minutes when we came on. We had a principal, and he's still around. I don't think he's a principal anymore, but he got involved. Somehow he went from principal into golfing. Maybe that's what you do when you retire. You're a principal, then you go play golf. But his name, and this was in fourth? Wasn't fourth. Yeah, it was. It was second, third, and fourth grade. Vernon Killen, a principal.
He was killing it.
A principal with the last name of Killen. And you did not want to go see Mr. Killen because this was the paddling days. How many of you this morning, if you're joining, a lot of folks joining us this morning, how many of you remember the paddling days? I'm thankful that people were like, oh, what is the generation that they always say, millennial? I'm in this weird, I don't claim to be a millennial, but millennial, but I don't claim to be what's the new one, Generation X? Is that the one now?
I can't keep up. It's X, Y, Z, P, Q, something like that.
We were in this special little 2-year window where it's kind of in the middle. And so we still got to experience some of the cool stuff, like paddling. And so it's easy for us to relate when we talk about paddling. And Mr. Killen had a paddle that had holes in that sucker, so the wind would go right through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd get the good popping. And I knew some people that got popped by Mr. Killen, and they were not happy.
My dad was a
paddler.
He was a paddler at the school. They would literally call him to the office to do the paddling for the school when he coached in Channelview.
Did you ever get paddled?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
I got paddled at home.
I did too.
And let's just say, and Dad, I love you. And some folk go, oh, that's bad parenting. No, it's not. It's good parenting because I'll tell you what, every time it happened, I never did it again. Now, I did other stuff, but I didn't do that thing again. Right. But Dad had a belt buckle. And it wasn't like I'm going to pop him hard, but the belt buckle popped me a few times.
Oh, yeah, that buckle gets you. You're in trouble.
And them old belts that had that little metal tip on the end of it? That metal tip, looked like an iron got you on the bottom.
If you're getting a spanking or a belt whooping or a paddling, just stand there and take it. Don't try to run from it. Because if you run and try to tuck, and there's no telling where that thing's going to hit, Yeah, I used to try to run away from it. And
it'll wrap around your leg, and that's not a good sign.
It's not either.
So a lot of folks joining us this morning. Stephanie remembers the paddle. So, Stephanie, what'd you get in trouble for?
She probably had a lot of them.
Stephanie Pitts joined us this morning. And then there's Steph Valley, who said, I never got paddled at school, but my parents believed in it. So
there's still some schools now that if you got permission, they will still paddle your child at the school in the principal's office.
Probably not public schools anymore, do you think? There is?
Yeah, it is. I know of a couple.
Small communities, because, those good old small-town values. We'll paddle your kids if they don't mind right here. That's what they say.
There's a few kids out there that need a paddle or two. We'll just leave that at that.
Stephanie said talking, but she never got paddled at school. Or she doesn't remember getting paddled at school. That's what it is.
Okay.
Stephanie, we know.
I never got paddled at school.
I didn't either. Almost got it one time. There was one other story real quick. We had a principal, wonderful lady, Dr. Joanne Ford. Dr. Joanne Ford. And Dr. Ford was a blessing to Georgetown. They have a school named after her. She was legally blind, but that woman still did everything you could imagine. There was even an article written of her she was cruising on a motorcycle with somebody. It was cool to see our principal in elementary wearing sunglasses, riding on the back of a hog with, holding on to a guy, and she's just smiling going down the road on a motorcycle.
I'm just glad to hear that she was on the bike since you said she was legally blind.
She was, yeah, but she wasn't driving the bike, obviously.
That's what's good to hear.
But there was a spider that crawled on me, and I just remember yelling, "Get off of me!" Well, I got sent to the principal for that. I didn't curse or anything. I just yelled in the middle of the class. Teacher quit disrupting the class. Go to the And so Dr. Ford laid into me. But I'll never forget she was legally blind, so she could still see some.
Right.
But this day, for whatever reason, she was like turned to the side, like talking, and I didn't want to be rude, but I was like, Dr. Ford, I'm over here. And so she's getting upset at me, like, you need to quit causing distraction in the school and all. And she had for a woman, she had like this very deep, like, I'm going to get you boy voice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we respect her. But I'll never forget, she was like looking to the side, and I was like sitting here as a young person, not making fun of, but I was just like, I was sitting here trying not to laugh because I'm like, she's talking just like to the side, and I'm not even, she's not, who's she talking to?
Maybe she just didn't want to look you in the eye.
I guess. But she always wore her sunglasses, so you never knew if she was looking anyway. But I knew that because she was turned to the side. And I'll never forget that story. Dr. Joanne Ford, she was loved by many. Well, we'll take a break, step aside. We'll have our national news coming up, and then wonderful friend Terri Coleman will be hopping on with us here in just a few moments. Let us know what you're thankful for today. I know what a lot of folks are thankful for, the fact that we're giving away cash.
Cash?
Cash money.
Like green dough?
Yep, greenbacks.
Greenback.
Well, digital greenbacks. I get annoyed when I go places that are like, we don't accept cash. And I'm like, well, okay, but you're supposed to. I thought
Right.
you're supposed. I guess you can do whatever you want.
I guess you can.
But I don't ever have cash on me, so I also get annoyed if people don't accept like credit card or Venmo and all that stuff now. Mm-hmm. Keyword is cash. Deanna Irwin has graced us with $1,000 today.
Wow.
Minus $980, and it's not even her. It's actually me. So $20 today.
Okay.
We're giving away $20 again today. All you got to do is text in the keyword cash along with your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. That's a fun one to say.
Yeah. Cajun Asian cuisine.
If you think about it, it sounds like Sean Connery would be really awesome at saying that. The Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. It's nowhere close. I can't do it anymore.
It really
I could 20 years ago.
We could all do a lot of things 20 years ago.
Text it in 936-339-0139. Again, 936-339-0139. That is the keyword cash along with your name. We'll step aside, take a break. National news coming up. We'll have Terri Coleman on the other side. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
USA News, I'm Lance Pry. Last week, Ford and the UAW reached a labor deal. Over the weekend, it was Stellantis that worked a deal, and now General Motors, the final large automaker, coming to terms with the United Auto Workers. The labor union reached a tentative deal with GM yesterday. That should put an end to the strike that started more than 6 weeks ago. A judge has ordered federal agents to stop cutting razor wire at the U.S.-Mexico border. In a ruling last night, a U.S. district judge granted temporary restraining order banning the federal government from handling the wire installed in Eagle Pass, Texas. The only exception is if someone's life is in danger. Israel has announced an expansion of its ground operations in Gaza and the rescue of a female soldier kidnapped in Gaza since day one. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
The horrors that Hamas perpetrated on October 7th remind us that we will not realize the promise of a better future unless we, the civilized world, are willing to fight the barbarians.
A man who was found dead inside a Colorado amusement park had everything he needed to attack. The Garfield County Sheriff's Office says a man dressed in full tactical gear and armed with multiple weapons and IEDs broke into the amusement park in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, after hours on Friday. His body was found the next morning in a restroom. Authorities believe the suspect took his own life instead of going through with his plans. Some CVS and Walgreens workers are beginning a walkout.
Some staff are starting the 3-day strike to demand better working conditions and to hire more people. Organizers are calling it Pharmageddon, and it's the third strike by pharmacists in just over a month. I'm Dave Collins.
Have some fun tonight. I mean, it's Halloween after all. USA News.
Attention Medicare recipients and anyone turning 65. Medicare has approved new benefits not included with original Medicare and older Medicare Advantage plans. You may not be getting all of the benefits you're entitled to, including in-home aids, telephone appointments with your doctors, home-delivered meals and prescriptions. These benefits may be available, and it's a free call to enroll. The new plans may also offer free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free wellness visits, and gym memberships. Call the Medicare benefits line now. It's easy. Call 800-683-3822. 800-683-3822. Find out if you're eligible for new benefits like meal and prescription delivery, in-home aids, and telemedicine. Some plans may have a $0 monthly premium or zero copays for big out-of-pocket savings. Not all Medicare Advantage plans are alike. The new plans have more benefits for many people. Call 800-683-3822. 800-683-3822. 800-683-3822.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at GuardianDefenseLLC.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Well, good morning, Huntsville. Thanks for waking up with us here. 7:41, and only because Deanna Irwin and Terri are here.
Boy, we are lucky.
All is well. You know, when I get... So here's something that's really strange. Welcome back in, by the way. Here we are, Guardian Defense. Big thank you to Guardian Defense for helping to make the show possible, as always, on a Tuesday. And Deanna Irwin of Advantage Specialties and Terri Coleman. Welcome in, Miss Coleman.
Thank you.
Good to have you. We're gonna talk about something that you brought here in just a little bit. You always bring it once a month to us.
That's
I kind of
right.
want to eat. When I was a child, I used to take a spoon of it and eat it. You know what's weird is, and I'm gonna have someone from TDCJ come on the show sometime. I think that would be an interesting program just to give us some. Deanna's like, whoa, wait a minute, to talk about how the process works. You know, when you get in trouble,
What
Deanna.
process?
Well, just the process of getting in trouble, Deanna. What happens, and going through all that. Just kidding, we won't do that. But the horn goes off, and I guess that's how they they communicate with each other by that, and that means I guess a certain number of horns means everything is okay. Mm-hmm. And I asked someone once, I said, well, what is that? That's how they all communicate with each other. Apparently.
On the unit.
Yeah, I get it. But I'm sitting there, is that how they tell the other unit everything's okay? Because I was sitting there thinking, why don't they just use text each other and say everything's okay? I would almost think that there would be a tone like a horn if something wasn't right.
Well, it's a certain number. I mean, I don't remember, but let's say 1 means I've started count, 2 means count is clear, or 4 means somebody's missing, but it's only for count.
What if you forget the sequence?
Yeah.
What if you do 2, but you really meant number 4 or something?
Then you messed up.
Then you see a line of 100 police cars coming into town. I just always wondered that though. Like, just sound it if there's something bad. Like a tornado siren. You test a tornado siren, but what if they ran a tornado siren just out of the blue? To say the weather is clear, all is clear, and that means all is clear. But if it went 5 times, that means it's not clear. Get in the basement. Get in the
Why
cellar.
do I keep saying yes to this?
Because it's subliminally. You're thinking, okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's our official horn brought to you by Rick Boning, Tomorrow's Promise. Terri, welcome in. It's
Good morning.
Good to have you on as always. Love your necklace, by the way. Beautiful necklace.
Thank you.
I love that. That looks like, honestly, it looks like a spoon. It
is. It is. I had it made. So, I've got 2 or 3 of these and I've given one to each one of my family.
Can you look at that camera real quick? Is that okay? Look how beautiful that is, friend. And is the like the necklace part of it? Is that also? Oh wow.
No,
it's just a necklace.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I can change it out. I can put different crosses on here.
Yeah.
Or whatever I like. So
that is. Yeah. Have you ever seen that, Deanna? That's awesome.
I have.
I also have a bracelet. In fact, next time I'll wear it, and it's a fork. It belonged to my grandmother's, and it's a bracelet that where the ends of it swirl out.
That is so cool. Yeah. There was I was watching a guy on YouTube that makes rings out of silverware.
Mm-hmm.
It's the coolest thing. He has a whole machine, and then by the end of it, it's like you can tell that he leaves a little bit, kind of like that. He leaves a little bit of the indentation so you know what it is, but it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. So, well, Terri Coleman is here. She's one of our real estate experts here on Hello Huntsville.
Thank you.
And, it's good to have experts in certain fields. Like if you need, if you need promotional items, if you need the best look in town, you go see Deanna. She's the expert. Advantage Specialties. If you need real estate, you go see Terri Coleman. She's the expert. You got a little something for us this morning?
I do. Whether you need to borrow a cup of sugar or just need some real estate questions answered, I'm your next door agent.
All right, let's go ahead and eat that sugar.
Is that not corny or what?
I love it. That's why we do it.
But hopefully people will remember me.
All right, hold on.
You don't need any more sugar.
You know what? When I eat sugar, I actually get tired. It's weird.
Oh.
Like I go down instead of up on sugar. So energy drinks de-energize me. So, well, Terri, we love having you on all the time and sharing your knowledge. Folks can go on the website, by the way, at hellohuntsvilletx.com, and on our special guides and features section, if you roll down, there is a little tab that says Real Estate Experts. You'll see Vicki McKenzie there as well, as we partner with her and Terri on this. But Terri, you put together some very interesting articles. Whenever folks came to us and said, hey, we've got some ideas, we didn't want it to be just an advertisement. We want it to be an educational piece.
Right.
And you've done such a great job educating folks in the community. I mean, this one right here almost has 200 views already, which is awesome. And this was your latest article a little bit earlier this month talking about holiday season right around the corner. Should you put your home on the market? So maybe give us some insights into that this morning, if you don't mind.
Well, and the answer is yes. If you're wanting to sell your home, the holiday time is a great time for a couple of different reasons. One, you have less competition. People generally think that the springtime is the best time, and the springtime is a great time to put your house on the market. But the holidays are great in that it becomes kind of a showcase. It's all decorated for the holidays. And you have fewer buyers, but the buyers are serious buyers. They're more active. They're determined to get something, and usually it's because they want to get into a home before the holiday season. And so when your home is decorated and people come in, they're more serious, but then they can see how their family would fit in and share holidays in that home. So it's a win-win all the way around.
You're so right on this, because when Bridget and I bought our little house in the back of Elkins a couple of years ago, and it's really great because actually the lady that we bought it from, she and I are friends on Facebook, and so it's really cool to see what she's up to. And normally I'd be like, yeah, you probably don't want to get to know the person you bought the house, because normally you don't even meet them.
Right.
In our situation, it was really unique because she's a nurse, Bridget's a nurse, and so there was just this really cool kind of warm connection. But you're so right about this, because Bridget and I were looking at that home during the holidays, and she had that house all decorated up for Christmas.
And then you can see your family having Christmas there in that home.
That was the first thing that I thought about. I was saying, wow, this would look really nice with our family. And at the time, we had just had Braylon. We actually brought her in the house. We were walking. She was there, so we walked through the house while she was there. Like, I've never heard of that happen.
Really, that's a little bit unusual.
Yeah, but it was comfortable. Like, because our real estate agent, the only time that would work for us didn't work for her, and she's like, well, we normally don't do this, but are you okay with being there when the owner's there? I was like, no, not at all. We don't care. No, you know what it was? I think she was actually outside, and I saw it for sale. I was like, that's a beautiful house. And she's like, well, come take a look. Oh. And that's kind of how it all worked out. And then we ended up getting a hold of the agent and everything. But you're so right about that. And Deanna, I'm sure holidays, do you get things decorated up? Are you a decorator?
Yeah, I put up 9 trees, so yes.
Oh my goodness, 9 trees.
Yeah,
That's
I'm sitting here
a lot.
thinking, I'd hate to sell my house at Christmas. That means I would have to pack all that up really fast.
Well, it's good to hear that, Terry, because, I've heard on the flip side, and this is why it's important to have your real estate expert, not just someone who echoes what everyone else says because they think it's the right thing to say.
Right.
I've heard from so many people say, oh, you don't want to sell your house during the winter. Don't want to sell it during the holidays. You got to wait till the summer because that's when the families are moving and kids are in school and da-da-da-da. And I've because you said that, I thought about that. I was like, this is one reason why we love the house so much, because there was Christmas things in there when we looked at it.
Right. And you were probably a more serious buyer at the time because you needed to get moved then versus if you'd been looking in the spring. Because if you'd been looking in the spring, you'd had plenty of time to make a decision, and you may not have made it that quickly.
Would you advise folks? So me, I'm kind of like an impulse type person.
No.
It's not a good thing. Like, if there's something that I want to do, I just go do it. I don't wait around. I'm like, let's just go do it, make it happen, and we'll figure it out later. That's how I've always been. And sometimes that works really well. Other times it's like, I probably should have thought this through. But I remember, like, Bridget and I were wanting to buy a home because we were paying rent, and the rent gets expensive. And we were renting a house at Brookview. We love the little house we were at Brookview, but we wanted to buy a home. And we went through a good friend of mine, Russell Barnett, on the mortgage side. And
Russell's awesome.
Well, he walked us through the whole process. And I've mentioned him before on the show, so I don't mind talking about it again. I know that you know Russell. But, man, he told us this is A, B, and C, exactly what you need to do. If you do this, you'll be able to get a home. And he was right on the money.
Right.
But we were thinking about it, and we really didn't go shopping at a ton of houses. I mean, literally, we saw that house, and we're like, that's the one. Is there anything bad with that? Like, if in our situation, if you're looking for a house, but you don't go to multiple ones, if you just fall in love with that first one, is that ever a problem, or what would you recommend?
I don't think that that's a problem because, I mean, when you walk into a home, is it going to fit? Is this the one for me? So, no, I don't think it's a problem. The only thing, now, if it's your very first home to look at and you say this is the one, then I would suggest maybe looking at 2 or 3 others just to make sure that that's the one. But if you've already seen, 3 to 5 homes and then you walk in and you say that's the one, then that's the one.
Gotcha. Yeah, now the very first home that I ever bought, a friend of mine called. She was a real estate I guess you could say she was an expert there for that area.
Yeah.
This was in the Austin area. She called. She got, I got the perfect house for. I wasn't even thinking about buying a house. I was 20 years old. That was the last thing on my mind. All that she knew was I was paying $1,200 a month in rent. She knew I could get a great house for $900 a month, probably on a 3/4 of an acre lot. She knew like, because I told her, she asked me one time, what are you paying in rent? I told her like $1,200. Would you ever think about owning a home? I was like, not really. I'm 20 years old. I don't want that to like.
And probably back then you thought, oh, if I buy a home, now I'm there for 20, 30 years. But that's not the case.
Turned out being the best investment that I ever made in my life.
Right.
Because when we sold that house, 14 years later, the equity that we had built up was so great that we were able to purchase a nice home here in Huntsville. We would have never been able to buy the home here. And our mortgage payments are just a little bit more than what we were paying, back in Georgetown. Now, you got to include taxes and all that. So they're a little bit more, but definitely not $900 a month. If they were, that'd be awesome.
Right.
But what I'm getting at is I just rushed into buying that. I did not look at any other homes. And it ended up being the greatest investment I ever made at the time. But I didn't do really good research. And once we got into the house, there was like this terrible. I was just excited. I was 20 years old, had a house, I was like, oh, this is great. I'll never forget walking in that first night. I had my little dog. It was just me and my dog. My little dog, Jenny. I named her Jenny. Jenny. That's why I named her that. And we walk into the house. I was like, wow, we got our own little house, Jenny. I'm sitting there talking to my dog, telling her this. And there's this hideous, like, rose wallpaper on the walls. And I was like, why did I buy this house? And then the floor, I was like, man, this isn't even like the carpet in here needs to be redone. And then all these little things started popping into my head. Well, then in 2010, the house flooded from Tropical Storm Hermine. We got put into a 100-year floodplain. If I would have asked the neighbors, because I asked them, I got to know my neighbors. We were on a cul-de-sac, but we had 3/4 of an acre. It was a nice little lot. And it was all wooded. The guy behind us owned 14 acres. And I realized why they never built on it, because all that was in a floodplain. Well, they moved us into the 100-year floodplain. I think it was actually 2011. 2010, they moved us into the floodplain. 2011 is when Hermine came through. Dumped 28 inches of rain in that neighborhood within 24 hours. It's the most rain out of anything from that tropical storm. And my house flooded. Well, the neighbor told me, he said, I said, why didn't you buy this house? Like, this house is, and I wasn't like, to me, that house was nicer than the other neighbors' houses. It wasn't great, but I mean, it was a nice little home for us. And he goes, well, man, that house, did you see how low it sits? I was like, yeah. Well, do you know that that's like a creek when it comes to huge rain? We're like, that house is going to flood. Sure enough, it did. That's why nobody ever really bought that house.
Oh, really?
There was someone living there, and then they sold it, obviously. But that's why the other neighbors chose not to buy that house when they had the opportunity to, because they were like, we knew that was a flooded area. My real estate agent had told me that, but I kind of let it go in through one ear and out the other because I was so excited about getting a house.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, didn't your agent tell you that?
She did. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She told me. But I was so excited that I wanted this house. And really what it was, this is so dumb, too. Back in the rowdy days of Rob, this was, my early 20s, there was a guy named Brett. Great guy, by the way, musician, love him to death. And he went and looked at that house with me. He goes, and it had a deck on the back. And I'll never forget, Brett goes, man, this would be the perfect party house. We could set up my music here, man. And because he was going to be my roommate, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, I'll get a house. Brett will pay half the mortgage. I'm home. Well, guess what? When I bought the house, Brett was like, well, I'm not.
Brett was gone.
Yeah, Brett was out of the picture. I still had the resources to do it because I was paying for the apartment on my own. But so that whole, just don't rush into that. That's all I'm going to say. It did ultimately end up being the best investment because we had it for almost 15 years, built up a lot of equity. But still kind of wish sometimes that I would have got a different house.
Would have waited a little bit.
Yeah. Because there was also a septic issue too that, finally we got that fixed. And so
Did you have it inspected?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we knew all this.
Oh, you just did it anyway.
I just thought as a first-time home buyer, and I was young and gullible and ignorant. I'm just going to be honest.
Well, thank goodness it all worked out for you.
It did.
Yeah.
You just remain in faith. Everything works out.
That's true.
That's how I knew about the toilet paper. If you go to somebody's house and they're like, don't put toilet paper in the toilet, they're probably on a septic tank. So, well, Terri, what else is in the pipeline? I know holidays are right here. They're happening right around the corner. What do you look forward to this time of the year most as just someone who's helping folks navigate real estate transactions?
That is true, and especially if those particular families need to be in before a holiday to be able to, like I said, to be able to have Christmas in that home. And so I try to navigate that for them as far as all that, as well as navigating the sellers out and into another home. You don't always have it to where the sellers get to have a holiday in their new home, but we get close. We work on that. So
Christmas is always such a fun time, and now I think the stores have been celebrating Christmas. What, Deanna, a month already?
Oh, probably 5 months.
Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous. Sometimes.
I mean, they're already sold out in most places.
Was it like this 20 years ago?
No.
It was always right after Thanksgiving, right?
Maybe a little before. But
when I grew up, you had Thanksgiving, and then the day after Thanksgiving, that's when you started putting up the Christmas holiday decor and everything. And that was really so. But, times have changed. The market with the retail, they start pushing Christmas on us real early.
I mean, I saw stuff one time, it was like August.
Yes.
I said, man, we haven't even made it to, whatever, Halloween. Or
we're still wearing bathing suits.
It's like, it's like Labor Day is here and we're talking Christmas already. And to me, as someone who is really passionate about that holiday and love just the tradition around it, I almost feel, and I'm not knocking any retailer, I know folks, especially small business, I would never do that to small business, but big corporate business, it feels like to me like the joy of the season, as a child growing up, I'm like, man, the whole atmosphere of Christmas has been tainted now because it starts so early. It's not, I don't feel like the same traditional joy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like when you walk into a Home Depot and you see, and I'm not knocking Home Depot, I'm just making a point, you walk in and see Christmas trees right now, and I'm like, where's the level of anticipation now?
I don't think now too early to sell stuff. August, yes, I feel like it's too early. But, I mean, some people want to go out and go shopping and get it all together. That way when Christmas comes,
It's done, yeah.
they're ready to put it at. But
Have you been to Madisonville yet, the Christmas?
Oh, I was there opening day.
Is this new or is this every year?
Yeah, it's brand new. It's a brand new store.
Have you heard of this, Terry?
I have not. What is it?
Yeah, tell us about this.
Madisonville Christmas store. Oh my gosh, it's like amazing. They took a lot of time. They designed it. It's a beautiful facility. They have the Christmas store itself, and then they have a 1225 cafe. And it has cute little candies and things for stocking stuffers. And then they also have a cafe you can get salads and sandwiches and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes. And then across the green field from there is the Mantle, and it's like a sports bar, and you can go over there and eat dinner. And it's really nice to have an outdoor on both facilities. They have an outdoor patio. This one over here has a huge fireplace. This one over here at the cafe is a little more quaint, but the store itself, it's got like 3, 4, 5, 6 different living rooms, so to speak, set up with Christmas.
Oh, how nice.
And then you go in and buy your ornaments and all, from the decorations that's set up. And then they have trees and gifts, and it's just a really phenomenal place. They've done a great job over there.
Is that going to be like a year round, or is it just?
Yes.
See, I don't mind that because it's focused on the holiday.
Exactly, and it's a holiday store.
Yeah, for Christmas.
It's not like Home Depot having Christmas trees up at August.
Yeah. And they're open till, I think, 8 o'clock during the week, so you can still go over there after work and have dinner or go shopping, or the men can hang out over here and watch TV and watch the game while the women's over here shopping in the store.
That was smart.
Yeah,
it's really
very
smart.
So I have a question for you. So if you do 9 trees, when do you start decorating and putting them up?
I used to start the weekend at, Thanksgiving, but now this year I'm starting November 1st, only because I have to help a friend do something.
Gotcha.
And so, but normally I don't start quite that early. But I start in the back, and then I work my way to the front. That way, by the time I get to the front, it's Christmas. It's closer to Christmas time. It's more closer to Thanksgiving. But yeah, typically we came home from Thanksgiving. That's when we pulled everything
That's
out
right.
of the.
After Thanksgiving dinner, then you start.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Are you selling tickets? Like, can folks give you like $10 and walk through?
That's a good idea. That'd be a good fundraiser.
There was a lady in Georgetown that she had to quit doing it because her name was Sue. And I cannot think of that. She was a client of mine when I had my tea company, and we just loved her. She was such a great lady. And one day we started talking about Christmas, and it wasn't during Christmas. It was somehow in the summer, and I was like, man, Christmas is, we're like 6 months away, but people are doing, and it was kind of the same conversation. She goes, well, I'm already decorating. I was like, what do you mean you're already decorating? She decorates her entire house, starting in July on the inside, and every nook and cranny of her house is Christmas. And she actually does allow people to walk through and has a donation jar. And it is a winter wonderland inside of her house. The trees, like you're talking about, she has trees, big ones, little ones, but every single room. And when you drive up to her front yard, it's like this special Christmas wonderland. But she had just been adding on. And she started kind of like you. She told me she had a few trees. And then over the last 40 years, it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And she goes, I'm having to start doing this in July now because I have so much. And she literally would. She would start in July decorating her house. And then right after Christmas, she'd take it all down for a few months and then start it back up again in the summer. But she had,
much for me.
But she would start having literally hundreds of people would walk through her home. And so we would go through it. And she had and she was like, oh yeah, she's like, people donate so much now. And she gave a lot of it to a nonprofit. I think it was Make-A-Wish is where she gave most of it to. But it was really cool. And I was like, Sue, this is awesome. Didn't even know it was there. And she never advertised, all word of mouth. So, Deanna, just start out, 9 trees, $5 an entry, and then 40 years from now,
I don't know that I want all those people in my house.
Okay, so I got to say this, though. So if you're decorating and you're going to do something like that, that's great. But if you're putting your house on the market...
That's too much.
That is too much decoration.
Way too much.
Yes, you need to keep it... Think clean, simple, and pretty. I mean, so when you come in, you want your potential buyers to say, oh, I can put the tree in this corner, or I can put a tree right here. But you don't want to overwhelm them with so many decorations that they see the decorations and not your house.
Right.
All right.
So-
What if now? Here's the flip side of this, Terry. What if this Christmas? I almost said Halloween. What if this Christmas extravagant display brings in $1 million a year? And you say, the house is only for sale for $300,000, but all of this stuff, this brings in $1 million a year. Then would that be okay? It depends
That would be
on the
okay.
buyer.
That'd be, yeah.
In other words, they would have to leave all that there because it would cost me $1 million to get it up there. Yeah.
We can market it that way.
Yeah, that'd be good. This is not marketed towards families. It's marketed towards entrepreneurs that want to start a Christmas business. So, well, again, we appreciate Terri Coleman being here with us this morning. Terri, how can folks get in touch with you? Give us your contact information if you don't mind.
Sure, I'd be glad to. My website is Your Realtor, Terri Coleman, at .com. And my number is 936-581-4434.
Let me do that again. 936. I had my numlock off. 936
581
581
4434.
4434. So, friends, if you're and have any, and look, here's the thing too, and I don't want to bombard Terri, with a million questions, but folks may have questions, and you're so good at navigating people through that. So even if you just have a question about real estate,
Give me a call.
Don't know where to turn, call Terri, and she'll take care of you. Back in the day, one of the biggest things that I saw a lot of agents do, and you don't see it too much anymore because now everybody has a cell phone, but I used to see on the real estate signs, there would always be the agent, and they would have the
phone
like
with their picture.
Yeah, with the picture. That was a big thing back then, right? But you know what it signified? I'm always there to answer the phone.
That's right.
Well, now everybody has a cell phone, so it's kind of taken for granted. Now it's like if people hang up on you because it only ring once. I know they hung up on me, but Terri's not going to hang up on you. She's going to take care of you, and you can call her again at 936-581-4434. You can also go to her website, too, at myrealtorterri.com. That's MYREALTOR, and then Terri, TERRI.com. And you can find your dream home right there, and Terri Coleman will take excellent care of you. Did want to remind folks, too, all you got to do is go to our website. If you go to HelloHuntsvilleTX.com, and I'll show this on the screen here for those of you that are watching this morning on our social media feeds. If you're on Spirit Radio, you're not going to be able to obviously to see this, but I'll describe it for you. If you go to HelloHuntsvilleTX.com, super simple, under Guides and Features, scroll down, click on Real Estate Experts, and you're going to be able to see the articles from Terri and Vicky as well. They submit those about once a month. Terri had another one last month about the real estate market remaining active amid rising interest rates. And Terri, I did want to talk, just briefly touch base with you on that before we let you go. How are the interest rates right now, and what's that doing to the market?
Well, the interest rates are holding right now between 7.5 and 8. Although, depending on your credit and stuff, it may be a little bit higher. The feds are supposed to be meeting again, and depends on who you listen to, that they may go up another bump just a little bit. Some people say no, they're going to keep it as it is. But interest rates right now, they're holding around 8%, 8.5%. And if you need a home, interest rates doesn't matter. If that's what you need, then do it. My first home was at 14% interest rate. I don't know what your first home was.
6.25%.
Yeah, but mine was 14,
Yeah.
and the market is what the market is, and it's just going to continue to rise up a little bit between now and over the next year.
It's
so if
crazy.
you need it right now, get it at 8% interest rate versus 14% interest
And the
rate.
thing, too, and I'm no expert at this, but, you could always go back. If things do go down, you can always
refinance. Yeah, you can always refinance.
Had a lot of friends that have done that. I remember when I got mine at 6.25%, I was pretty happy about that. Then when we got our house out here, we got it right before the interest rates went on the rise. And I'll never forget because Russell was like, man, I'm sorry I couldn't get you that 3%. And I'm like, what? I was like, I didn't think I would even get that. And he's like, yeah, I can only get it at 2.75. And I'm sitting there thinking like, wow, I thought it was going to be like 10 because my credit wasn't as great as it was when I bought the first house. So I thought it's going to be even more than that. But there's never, in my opinion, and I'm not the expert you are, Terri, but just when you're in a market, I mean, throughout the state of Texas, everything, you look at the law of averages and the law of history of how the markets work, and I think the stock market's like an average return of 10% a year on average if you go back. And there's big dips, obviously, but I think they call it like dollar cost averaging. And so as time goes on and you look at it on the grand scope of things, yes, a long-term investment's great. It's kind of the way that I look at housing too.
Exactly.
You know, we don't live in an area to where it's constantly going down. The history says that houses will always increase in value. Like even our house, the equity that we've built in just 2 years now, we could turn around and sell it and make a good little profit on it. And we're thankful for that, but we don't want to sell. We want to stay here in Huntsville. We have trust me, we moved like 5 times in 3 years. We have no plans of moving again. We are done. I've cleaned out my house 4 different times. We're done.
So the point you're making about that is, and I think that was in my last month's article, I gave an example of back in the 50s, your $30,000 home today is worth $200,000 to $300,000 because each year it's going to continue to go up, and even no matter what the interest rates do, whether they go up or they go down, the value of your home continues to go up.
It's like
so real estate investment is a great investment.
I think about folks, you know, back in the 70s, and I knew some family members that had purchased a home for $7,900, you know, in like downtown Georgetown. And
oh my gosh, there's
around,
no telling what that is worth.
Yeah,
now.
and even in conditions to where the homes aren't favorable or fixed up nice, those houses are selling for $500,000 easily. So, you know, it'd be nice to. Too bad we can't get $7,900 homes anymore. That'd be nice. So Deanna and I would be buying up everything.
Yeah.
We'd start Deanna Irwin Investments Incorporated. So, well, Terri, again, appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Friends, we want to remind you to support local. Whenever you're supporting someone like Terri Coleman, you're supporting local folks, you're supporting local families, you're supporting our local community, and it's so important to do business. I know there's a lot of options when it comes to real estate. We didn't partner up with Terri and Vicki just because they said, hey, we want to send you some money and be on the show and support what we're trying to do here on Hello Huntsville. I know Terri personally. I know Vicki personally. They're going to take excellent care of you. These two ladies are very passionate about what they do. And Vicki has been around, and she knows. Terri has been around, and even though Terry's only 31 years old,
that's right.
She's been doing real estate now you've been doing it, almost
33 years.
Over 33 years now is what I was going to say.
Long time.
So Terri knows the ins and outs. And you've been through the markets. You've been through the good times and the bad times.
So I can actually give you advice on what to do with that.
So give her a shout, Terri Coleman. She is your next door agent. And again, you can find out more information at myrealtorterri.com. Terri, thanks for being here. Was there anything else? Did we get everything today that we needed?
I think you did.
Awesome.
I think we covered it all.
Perfect. Well,
other than, Huntsville's growing and more people are coming. So if you're going to sell, now's the time to do it because we've got the buyers.
That's right. Pick up the phone, call Terri. She'll get you sold, and we'll keep on trucking here in Huntsville, Texas. So,
Deanna, it was good seeing you.
You too.
All right. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. Deanna and I will wrap it up when we come back as we'll call our winner, too, on the Granny Marriage.
Oh, yay.
Wait, I can't say it. Granny Marriage, Cajun, Asian. I can't do it anymore. I'll practice in the mirror.
Okay.
Do you ever practice in the mirror stuff? I don't do that.
I'm not going to
acknowledge
that on public TV.
Like if you had a speech that you had to give, do you ever practice in the mirror? I've never done that.
I don't know that I practice in the mirror. I do practice, but not in the mirror.
I have.
Yeah, I've never done that.
I have. Just I guess that was part of my growing up and being in plays and things like that in school. Yeah, it was always part of practice in the mirror. See if you can make that eye contact.
That's right. Rhonda Ellisor told me at Rotary one time, she said, Rob, you're a great speaker, but you don't ever smile. She's like, you need to smile when you talk. You're telling a funny story and you're not smiling. You look so serious. So now it's like, I feel like it's almost like this forced smile. It just doesn't feel like I'm happy and joyful, but it's like I try to smile now when I talk and it feels weird. It's like, hey, how you doing, Deanna?
I'm great, Rob. How are you?
See, there it is. All right, we'll step aside, take a break. Deanna and I will wrap it up when we come back. Stay with us, friends, as we continue to celebrate all things good happening here in Huntsville, Texas. We'll be right back after this.
Texas, a trusted, family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
Hey friends, Rob Hip here. As a guy, jewelry's not really my thing. I never know what I'm looking for. I feel uncomfortable, and I just don't understand how certain things look good together. But that's why I depend on Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Whenever Bridget and I wanted to get engaged, we said, we need to go to a place to where someone's going to take care of us. They're going to make me feel comfortable as a guy, but they're also going to take care of her needs as well. So I went into Elliot's, and he was so gracious and compassionate with my understanding, and I wanted something that looked a little masculine for my engagement band, and he said, I've got the perfect thing for you. And he found some white hammered gold that was trimmed in 14 karat gold, also put a diamond on that ring to signify my love for Bridget, and as we grow and our family grows, we can put a diamond around the rest of those. So friends, if you're looking for someone that is dedicated to customer service, that understands the needs of people and does what's right all the time, there's nobody better than my friend. It's Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy, and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why at the Color Bar Hair Salon you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
Welcome back, friends, as we wrap it up here on a spooky. Spooky. I miss saying that. I was saying that earlier. Last week, our keyword was spooky.
Oh, okay.
Spooky.
Yeah, that's right. But today it's cash.
Cash. And if you've texted in cash, we already got our winner picked, by the way. This is someone who's won before. The randomizer has picked a winner today. We did something a little different this week. We made it to where you could only text in once this week to win. We were doing it like every day. We tried something a little bit new. We'll probably go back to making it to where you can text in every day to have more chances to win.
Right.
The thing is, you still got to watch the show, though, because if we call you and you don't answer, you don't win.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So you've never texted to win, have you, Deanna?
Probably not.
Well, we give away such great prizes
I know
here.
you do, but I like to let other people have all that.
Well, we want to give you something
I
once in
get
a
a
while.
prize just by being here.
We get the prize by you being here.
Oh.
So we have a rotating group of, well, really like 3 people, I guess, that we like to, and we'll have anyone on. If someone wants to be a co-host, you can always reach out to us. But you were one of our first. I remember when we first started the show, Deanna, and we came on and you talked about the Peyton Irwin Foundation and loved having you on. And you said, I'd love to do this more often if I can. And so you and Tammy Farkas are like the 2 that we always call first. I called you first this week, and you said yes.
I did.
Bridget got mad at me one time because I was calling folks to go to the Sam Houston football game with me. And I told a guy, I said, yeah, I called so-and-so, and they didn't answer, and I called you. Bridget was like, why'd you tell him that? Probably hurt his feelings.
Oh.
I was like, well, I was being honest with him. I'm not going to lie to the guy. Because how many times have you ever have you ever been around somebody who's like, oh, well, I called you first, and then you find out later that they didn't call you first? That happened to me once. And I was like, it was in a broadcasting world. This guy had called me. This was way before I'd started my little SHN business years ago. And this guy had called me and said, and it was for like a playoff game in Sinton, Texas. Cuero. It was the Gobblers. Have you ever heard of them? The Gobblers, really cool mascot. And they said, I think it was Sinton playing Cuero, actually, is what it was. So it was for Sinton, but we were playing Cuero. And I'll never forget, he called. He's like, yeah, man, I wanted to see if you wanted to do this game for us. And I was all excited. I was like, yeah, absolutely. He said, yeah, you're the first person I thought of. Well, then I found out later that he had called like 6 other people.
Oh.
And I was actually the last person that he called.
Well, maybe you were the first person he thought of, but he couldn't find your number. By the time he found your number,
No. And I'm going to have grace this morning, but definitely not. This guy I knew for a fact. At the time, I thought, man, this is great. So because of that experience, I don't ever want someone, I'm not being rude by not calling you first. It's just, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I didn't call you first. And I told the guys, like, I called you second, I just want to be honest with you. Because I never wanted to get back to him, and Bruce was like, that probably hurt his feelings. I was like, no, it didn't. There's people that call me like fourth sometimes. I don't care. Just don't lie to people and tell them that you called them first. I called you first, and you said I texted you first. So this is being honest.
Okay.
So, anyways, just wanted to clear that up.
Glad you did.
Tammy Farkas, I'm sorry I did not text you this time, but next time Tammy will get the call. I rotate them.
Okay. That's good.
So that's the way it works. Well, Deanna Irwin is our guest co-host here. Of course, we couldn't bring you this show on a Tuesday without Guardian Defense and Jason Thompson. We appreciate the Thompson family for all your firearms needs and training, personal safety. Please go to their website at guardiandefensellc.com, and you can sign up for classes. Have you ever taken any of those, like LTC classes or anything?
I have not. I've done a lot of gun shooting in my life. My dad had given me lots of education and training on guns, but I don't mean like I have an arsenal or anything, but, I grew up with a dad who hunted and, I learned safety and all of that. It's very important to learn safety.
It is, and there's a lot of folks that didn't have the privilege like you did growing up, and so if you haven't had that privilege, or maybe you've owned your own firearm and you feel like you're comfortable with it, but you want to learn more, Jason Thompson and the Thompson family will be more than happy to help you out, and a very nominal fee. They don't charge a whole lot to do this either, but go to their website at guardiandefensellc.com. Most importantly, especially right now, Jason recovering from a surgery, and friends, whenever you support a family like the Thompsons, or Jason, you're supporting an entire family, just like I said with Terri. So that's why it's so important to give back locally. Well, you want to head over to the phone line?
Sure. Where do we go?
Let's go. We'll be back. We're gonna walk out of here and head across the street to the phone line.
Oh.
My grandmother was a hello girl. Did you ever know them? Like back in the old days of the phone company?
No.
That doesn't sound good. Like, hey, hello girl.
Right. No, it doesn't.
They were the operator that answered the phone back in the day. And
then they connected you to wherever you needed to go.
On the switchboard.
BR 549, please.
What was that all? There was a movie that said that. What you were just saying.
Is it a song?
Maybe it is.
Who knows?
I don't know. But there's something that has that. But she was a hello girl. She would, look, hello, this is Louise. Where can I patch you in? And this is pretty cool.
Huh, that is cool.
I miss those old days. Things are so easy now with technology. Like, can we get back to making it a little bit more difficult? Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Because it was fun. We refused to let Braylon watch a tablet much. I did want to say that,
It's a good thing. It's a good thing to control the exposure to laptops, electronics, and all that at this age. Let them learn to play and get motor skills and all that. Very important. We didn't let Peyton do a lot of that either. A lot of our friends, they all had the videos in the car, and they watched the movie from the house to school. I'm like, you can't even get to school without watching a movie. Talk to your kid. Mm-hmm. I see it today driving down the road. Just talk to your kid while you're driving down the road. Have a relationship with them. Find out what's going on. That may be the time they're going to talk to you about, hey, Mom, this is going on at school. Can you help me? But you wouldn't know because you're watching a video. So it's important.
We have an iPad, and every once in a while, like yesterday we did, because it was like a 45-minute drive back from Conroe, and Braylon was just screaming, kicking.
Oh, yeah, that's when you turn it on.
And I was like, we probably need to do this because and then, then she finally calmed down. She actually took a nap, thankfully. But for the most part, it's very rare. And, Even when we'll go back to Georgetown, it's a 3-hour drive, and she'll use it. And what's so cool about it, and I'm not judging parents that don't do this, but I want to encourage you to start doing it, because what's really cool about this, Braylon, she's now saying, what's that? What's that? What's that? And instead of me as a dad getting annoyed and Bridget getting annoyed as parents, we love it because now she's interested in the world around her.
Right.
And so we're driving. It's so cool to watch her in the back seat, and she'll point like at a bird and be like, bird. Or she'll go, trees, deer. If she was glued to this tablet the whole time, she wouldn't know what was going on around her.
Right.
So maybe that's another inspiration this morning is
there
get
you
rid
go.
of
We're full of them.
And plus, your seriousness, obviously, about the importance of not driving distracted. And you know what? Even if you have a screen on in the back seat, that could be a distraction. It could be. I'm not saying that it always, but it could be a distraction.
Could be.
If you've got it turned up too loud, or if your child is like, for me, I kind of get concerned sometimes when she gets really quiet. I'm like, is she okay? Especially with the newborn baby, where I was like, is Kaden okay? So it could be, but definitely, one of the biggest things that we always talk about here when Deanna's on, and even when she's not on, is just making sure that you don't text and drive. And Deanna, can you give us kind of an update on the Peyton Irwin Foundation and how folks can get involved? I know you guys are working around the clock, getting ready for the run every year.
We are working around. In fact, I think probably in the next week we will finally be able to announce our theme for this year. So we're very excited about that. That's what we're doing right now. Anybody that wants to help put on the run or volunteer, they can always reach out to us on our Facebook page and message us or email. I think my phone number is even on there. Give us a call or an email, and we'll be glad to take your name and use you.
Could we have you back on the show to talk about the theme?
Yeah.
Could we do that?
Yeah.
Just shoot me a text and let me know when you're ready. Now, if you've already got something worked out, I don't want to take that away from anybody.
Yeah, we'll go live with something online, but we'd be more than happy to come here and
come here and let us know too.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. We'd love that. So,
it'll be fun.
Awesome.
We're excited.
The big reveal coming up, and all you got to do is follow Peyton Irwin Foundation on Facebook. Correct?
Exactly.
So follow her on Facebook first. You'll see it there first.
Yes.
And then we'll have you back on to talk about it, and
That'll
maybe the thought process and the idea behind it.
Yeah.
Is it going to involve tutus, like, dressing, or maybe like 50s? What do they call those dresses back in the 50s?
Poodle skirts.
Poodle skirts. Is it going to involve poodle skirts?
I'm going to say no.
Dang it. I was hoping to wear one.
No. There will be some costumes involved, and it's a great opportunity for a costume, but the poodle skirt is not it.
So there's your one and only hint, right?
That's it.
No poodle skirts.
That's right. Hey, let's call somebody.
Let's go. Deanna's got to go to work. I do too. I got work to do today.
Do you?
Yeah. Here we go. You want to handle the call, Deanna?
What do I say?
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm good.
You're good.
Why do you sound discouraged?
Yes.
You just won.
I didn't know who this was, and I'm at the doctor with Peyton.
Oh, well, you're a winner.
Oh, awesome. That's
Yes.
good.
Hello, Huntsville is proud to announce that you are the winner of...
Cha-ching, $20.
Does it make you holler?
Of course it does.
I joked around. Is this Ashley? Is this Ashley Horton?
Yeah, it is.
Ashley Horton, Huntsville
I
item.
thought it sounded like her.
Yeah, I thought about that
How
at
did
first.
you not know who it was?
Yeah, well, whenever you answer, like, hello. And I was like,
Right.
well, forget it then. You're not winning. I was about to hang up.
I didn't know who it was, and we're at the doctor's office.
All right.
Oh.
We'll
Yeah.
let you get back to your
Yeah.
doctor then, all right?
Yes.
Okay.
But now you have
Thank
$20 to pay your copay.
Yeah, you got $20 copay. Actually, it's probably like
Oh.
$100 now. You know how much they
Right.
charge. So,
Right.
know.
Yeah.
So get back to your
That's always
doctor.
helpful.
Hey, are you? Can I ask you a question? You don't have to give any personal information. Are you over Dr. Young today? Or
No, we're at the
different doctor.
bone and joint doctor
Ah, okay.
Oh.
All right. Perfect. Well, hey.
for a hand fracture.
I think the doctor's literally in the room.
Oh, for a hand fracture. Well, I'm sorry. Well, all right. Well, hey. Well, we'll be praying for quick healing, and we got you $20 coming your way, Ashley.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya. Bye. Don't tell the doctor. Bye. Whoops.
I think literally the doctor was in the office with her. And we're just like, so what's going on?
Well, Ashley and I, we went to the ribbon cutting at Dr. Trey Young at Genesis Medical. Love Dr. Young. He's our doctor, and he's so incredible. I told him, I said, Dr. Young, you're going to get so busy because you're so nice to everybody, and you do such a great job. And it does happen. Word travels fast when you do something.
And
good.
then you get to the point you can't take new patients. So
that happened to my. There was a doctor. Everybody kept telling me here. Very, very nice older gentleman. It's like pay as you go.
Oh, Dr. Wells?
Dr. Wells. Everybody told me when I got to go see Dr. Wells, got to go see Dr. Wells. Man, I called him, like, we're not taking new patients.
Right. He had to quit.
And I was about to call and say, well, Dr. Wells, can y'all take down the sign then? You don't even need to sign anymore if you got so many patients.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, can I bring something up before we go home?
Yeah, please.
Right now it's early voting.
Yes,
Did you know
that's
that?
right. I forgot. We talked about this like 20 times, and I forgot. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. It's early voting. You can vote at the storm shelter. It's always important to vote. If you're in the city limits, you've got a lot to vote for right now. I think there's A through X amendment to the city charter. You can go out there to the your voter registration office, and they will tell you which ballot. I've been to several meetings. There are 32 ballots out there right now that, for all the different, Ward 1, Ward 2, HISD, not HISD, all this. So get out there, research before you go. You can take a cheat sheet. That's hard for me to say. You can take a piece of paper in with you with your answers on there. They're not going to stop you. Otherwise, you're going to be at that ballot for a long time doing your electronic voting. But we have school board elections right now. We have mayor elections, and you have city council elections. You have proposition to Texas propositions. I'm not even going to get into what all they
and
are.
Farming and those kind of things on there. Yeah.
Teachers pay or retiree teachers pay. All of that is on there, and then of course all the city charter amendment. So I would definitely go out, do your research, do your homework, talk to other people if you have questions. I can certainly tell you who I'm voting for. Just reach out to me. I'm not going to get into that here by any means, but it's important. That is one thing you have as a citizen, is the ability to vote. That is one place you can make a difference. So it's an important thing to do. Get out, Walker County Storm Shelter. I believe it's 8:30 or to 5 right now. And then Thursday and Friday, you can vote 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And it's super easy. I went over there the first day it opened and did it last week, so it was very easy to get over there.
There's a lot going on that yellow piece of paper.
If you don't vote, you can't complain.
Exactly. So, you can complain, but you really shouldn't because you didn't vote.
Make sure that your voice is heard, and your voice does matter. Deanna, I'm so glad that you brought that up. We've had Diana McCrae was on with us just a couple of weeks ago talking about the importance of it. And so get out there, make your voice heard. It does count. I know you say it don't, and get involved. You don't have to be a politician to get involved in local politics. You need to know what's going on in your community. There's a lot of folks that I complaining about growth, and there's a lot of things too, and I did want to bring this up very briefly, that I see a lot of chatter on social media about why does the city council allow this and why are they the city council they're not going to stop someone who wants to have a business come to town unless it's some atrocious business. And so I see a lot of complaint. Why is there so many car washes? Because people want to come here and build a car wash. That's what they want to do. Why is this restaurant doing this and this one doing that? We need to go talk to the city council wants to promote all business here in this community. It wouldn't be fair for you to have an idea, Deanna, and then for me to have an idea and the city shut you down and let me do it, or vice versa.
Right.
They're pro-business. They want to help out businesses here in this community.
If I own the land, I can do what I want with the land. It's not the city saying, hey, you have this land. Would you please build a car wash on it? They're going to try to attract businesses here. That's what the economic development does, is to try to get good businesses here. But you get what you get,
And you don't throw a fit.
You don't throw a fit. That's right.
So that's part of one of the blessings, and sometimes people see it as a curse, but the blessing of having property and being able to do things. I obviously don't have a bunch of property or anything. I'm not a developer, but I'm also a big proponent that, if it's your property within guidelines, you should be able to do what you want. That's part of the American dream, right?
Exactly.
I don't want somebody telling me, no, you can't do this unless it's going to harm somebody else. If it doesn't harm anybody else, go for it.
Right. Exactly.
But with me saying all that, please support local business. And our city does care. It really breaks my heart to see people saying that our city does not promote local business, because they do. I know the folks that are involved in our city, and I can tell you that, yes, of course we want big retail and other stores to come in, because we don't want people leaving our city to have to go somewhere else. I wish we had a Kohl's here. I love going to Kohl's. I really wish we had a Kohl's. Now, if there was a Kohl's, would I still support local business like Bargain Box? Absolutely. They got great deals over at Bargain Box. And there's enough to go around for so many here in our community. But I can assure you, and I'm not running for office and I'm not promoting individual people, I'm just telling you that I can tell you that our city really does care about this community, the folks that are involved. I talk to them frequently. And one of the best people, and I will say this person, is Mayor Andy Broniger. I've had him on the show several times and love Mayor Andy. And he's passionate about this community. And he's passionate. The biggest thing is, and I think this resonates with most folks in our city, is that he's passionate about the culture of Huntsville. He brought that up before I even talked about it. He goes, I want the culture of this community I asked him, I said, what is your biggest fear, Mayor, once you're out of office and this community continues to grow? And he says, I want the culture of Huntsville to be preserved to where we still have the feel of Huntsville 30 years from now. That meant a lot to me. So get out and support each other, support local business, go to Advantage Specialties, get your screen printing done, get all your embroidery. I got my SHN shirts, I got my Hello Huntsville shirts, I got all my stuff done over there, and they will take excellent care of you.
We enjoy doing what we do.
That's right. There she is, Deanna Irwin. Have to pay her a lot of money to be on here, and I got to go because my tally now is over $1,000 for the time that she's been on the show this morning.
Yeah. Wow, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. She's like, oh, new idea. Rob, I'd love to come on, but can you pay me $800?
Right?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, friends, that'll wrap it up here on a wonderful Tuesday. Happy Halloween to everybody out there.
Happy Halloween. Thanks for joining us here at Hello Huntsville. I love being here and getting to talk about my passions, and I thank you all for letting me come do that every now and again.
You bet. You're always welcome. Friends, we love you. Get out there today and make a difference. As I end every broadcast, truly want to remind you that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We do need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Good morning and God bless. We'll see you back at it tomorrow morning, bright and early, right back here on Good Morning Huntsville.